name is Garth, otherwise known as Big G.
My name is Richie Blackford.
Mrs. Griffiths would have been very proud of her daughter, Marcia, even though she reluctantly allowed her into the music business. Marcia went.
Yeah. What we need to do is to recognize that if we put investment in, we are revitalizing communities. How we deal with small man? And so the sound system started to come up. The sound system was the small man entertainment.
Inimitable. Toots. Mr. Frederick Hibbert himself. And the Matos.
His mother, Prince Buster, had his imprint all over it. You know? And
Sundays come here.
Yes, forward march. Let me tell you, it's a march upon a move. We call it a rocket month. Can you imagine today is the 27th day of the month, Richard? The month done already.
The what?
Just 27th.
No man. Voila. Yes, to race course.
Yes, the last Sunday of the month of March. And daylight saving time don't make it any easier either. Welcome to another Sunday Scoops on this Sunday afternoon. Again, my name is Big G, and right beside me is the man himself.
Richie Blackford.
And I tell you, boy.
I will tell you.
And today, I tell you, we have some good producers. Joe, we've done Duke Reed,
and Coxon. We did Miss Pottinger, Sonia Pottinger.
We did Bonnie Lee.
We did my guy
Scratch
from
Perry.
Beverly's, right?
Yep. We did Leslie Kong. We did the Who Kim Brothers.
The Who Kim from Channel 1.
And
today we're
to
going
a
to
certain
focus
extent,
on
Joe
Gibbs.
Joel.
In fact, he was born Joel Gibson in 1943 in a little place called Salt Spring, just outside of Montego Bay in St. James.
Yeah.
And Joe Gibbs, as he came to be known, wasn't a slouch as far as his contribution to the music is concerned.
He was an electronic engineer.
Yes, apparently he went to
Guantanamo Bay.
He went to the United States initially, and then got on a program that sent him to Guantanamo Bay.
Back in the 60s and 70s, Richie, a lot of Jamaicans went over to Guantanamo Bay to work.
Because it was the place had just 59. The place had started shifting.
And the next best thing for farm work. You trust me. You prefer to go Guantanamo Bay than go farm work.
But he became he worked as an electronics technician in Guantanamo Bay, and then came back to Jamaica in the early 60s, where he decided to put out his shingle as an electrician, open up a little electronics repair shop, little fixed radio.
Tube amps.
If you had the opportunity with a tube amps and thing.
And a tube in a tube.
Yeah, you can't say tube. It is called a tube amps. In those days, you go a dance, you see a little man lean up side of the set and then pocket bulge out or some extra tube him having. So
just in case one of them get blown.
Blow him, just fix it on the spot. So, but Joel Gibson was one of those electricians. And by he opened a little shop at Beeston Street. You know Beeston Street?
Yeah, my old man used to live at Beeston Street and Simmet Lane.
You know Simmet Lane?
Simmet Lane, yes.
Yeah, not Smith Lane, Simmet Lane.
Simmet Lane, yes.
Yes. Well, he opened a little shop down at Beeston Street, and then in time, because the music thing started pick up, and he started selling records. Of course, as the natural progression of things, he would have gotten into the music business. You know what is amazing, God, in those times is the way these guys were quick to spot an opportunity, you know, and not only just spot the opportunity, but to capitalize on it. He started selling records at his place, and in time, him start to look around for talent. I think he knocked with your boy Bonnie Lee.
Yes.
You know, Bonnie Lee was one of the
well, Bonnie
biggest
was like a
upcoming
traveling
producer.
producer.
But it was a briefcase producer, right? Or a paper bag producer. I them tell the man on a briefcase. Say, him have a great super strong tech shopping bag and that briefcase. And him go from studio to studio, recording studio. Them days it was Federal. I think he did a little work at Coxon's place as well. But most of the recording was being done at Federal Records. And of course, the business trope, people like, well, we know all of the big artists them coming out at them time. Slim Smith or Slim Smith.
Slim Smith.
And
Delroy Wilson.
Delroy Wilson, Roy Shirley, who in fact, Gibson's earliest recording was done with Roy Shirley, which I'm pretty sure you're going to
1967. Yeah, man, we have that lineup long time. Let's give
give a taste, right?
Taste of Hold Them.
Get in the groove, I move those feet. Feel good, feel good. I left and right, east and west. Believe me, believe me. Oh, with this blues, the bass and sound. Believe me. Believe me, I'll get in the groove. I'll move those feet. Feel good, feel good. I'll get in the groove. I'll move those feet. Feel good, feel good, feel good, feel good now. Believe me, believe me. No, 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 no. Oh, your best friend is back in town again to get you on your dancing feet. Hold them right and let down.
Hold them.
Yeah, the thing is, no, I had to play this song to the now knocker. That was the sweet part of the tune. And our listeners would not, those who really are familiar with this song, would not forgive me this Sunday afternoon for not playing that little
You
part
are
of the song.
absolutely right. You know, it's interesting. You talk about on a Sunday afternoon, you remember, music like this couldn't play on the radio.
Hold on, which part of Sunday? Sunday afternoon? Brethren, from 12 o'clock to Saturday night, a pure gospel music play right back till Monday morning.
In the early days,
In the early days of radio.
The radio used to sign off at midnight and sign back on at 6 o'clock. And you used to have the Billy Graham hour, and he had another one named Oral Roberts. And all them man, there was a famous thing where them say, Buster did ban Billy Graham from coming to Jamaica and call him a fraud. and we won't get into the story.
I'll tell you another little story that used to come on Radio to Richie. Our Changing World with Earl Nightingale.
But the church thing, you know, Billy Graham, there's a
man.
point in the service, you know, Billy Graham say, if any part of you sick,
From Minneapolis, Minnesota.
you need to just rest the body part that is
Yeah, man.
infirm on the radio. And it is understood that Buster rests the infirm thing on the radio. And it nothing no work. And the man, so Buster must write him and say, you're a fraud. You know, you can't do this thing. And the man say,
And
"What you mean you're a
bless
fraud?"
a handkerchief and send it to you.
He said, listen, what, how was this thing? You know, Buster said, well, I put my thing on the radio and nothing go on. And Billy Graham said, I said I could have raised the sick. I could have
Not
healed
the
the sick.
dead.
I can't raise the dead. And you can't work out. I want to face it. but
Oh boy.
that was the nature of everything. But back to the song. Roy Shirley, this was a big hit for him in Jamaica. And I think Joe Gibbs, according to the scribes, used his connections with Bunny Lee, who basically knew his way around the place. And I think by the time RJR had kind of started shifting into, as a commercial radio station, was becoming a little bit more attuned to the music that was coming out. And I think Bunny connected with Jeff Barnes at the time, and but that helped them push the tune. It was a staple on the radio, as you said earlier. Everybody know every single line of this song, and I think because this song was so popular, there was a point at which Roy Shirley did a couple of variations of the song. In fact, he even did a festival song with the same beat.
Yes.
Just to give you an indication. The song also, they took it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, you can't blame him for that at all. The song was also released in England on Graham Goodall's the Dr. Bird label. And if you know much about the thing, there was a Dr. Bird club in the Clock Tower Plaza in Halfway Tree, where he used to have the Dr. Bird music awards and so on. So just taking listeners back a little bit there. Bunny Lee also introduced to Joe Gibbs, a little young boy, Errol Dunkley. And Errol Dunkley, on his meeting with Joe Gibbs, Gibbs gave him some records, some R&B tune that he had brought back with him from the States, and tell him to, study the songs and thing. Well, Dunkley came and he did his earliest recording with Joe Gibbs, and I'm pretty sure you have that lined up on the turntable.
Please stop your lying, girl.
There you go.
See, a long time man have woman problem now, Richard.
Long time, 60s. Let's give a listen to Errol Dunkley and his
First
outing.
recording. Please stop your lying, girl.
Please stop your lying, girl, and speak the truth. If you don't love that guy, tell him you don't. Every night you're on the beach with another guy, and the poor guy
Yes. Why, I've just been schooled and me not afraid for say when me wrong. I played the wrong long shot song because I printed those two of them. You have
Yeah.
long shot, kick the
Yeah,
bucket,
long shot, bust
which
the
was
bed.
done with
Right.
Beverly's, and so
long
I'm not afraid for tech schooling because that's how you learn.
Well, nothing wrong with that. That's why we work. That's why we do this thing together. You know? There you go. There you go.
Why long shot bust me bed? Why long shot bust me bed? Him gallop, but he couldn't bust the tape. Him gallop, but he couldn't bust the tape. Matty slicking, him whipping, him lashing, but he couldn't bust the tape. Matty slicking, him whipping, him lashing, but he couldn't bust the tape. Why, Jaga Jaga warrior? Why, oh me I go home tonight? The one make me buy, it bust me lord. The one make me buy, it bust me lord. Hippie hooray, hippie hooray, hippie hooray, hippie hooray. I know the day come when I lick me finger. I know the day come when I lick me finger. Man, me catch a jackpot, me catch a jackpot, me catch a jackpot. Me catch a jackpot, me catch a jackpot, me catch a jackpot. What a joy, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy tonight. Allah. What a joy, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy tonight. Allah. Sweet music, rice and chicken for me. Allah tonight. Sweet music, rice and chicken for me. Allah tonight. Hot tops, hot tops, hot tops, hot tops like dirt yard.
These guys think about is gambling and food.
Yeah, but you can't blame them, God. In them days, you know,
Listen,
you
on a
remember
Saturday,
the
from
1960s.
then till now,
Yeah.
on a Saturday afternoon, you go to any betting shop, trust me.
No, it's not even Saturday afternoon. It used to start from early in the morning because you used to have English racing. You
Oh,
see?
yes.
English racing start from 7 o'clock in the morning.
What them call it? The London Downs or something like that?
Churchill Downs, yeah, that
Churchill
couple
Downs.
of racetrack. And especially when you have things like steeplechase and all them things. But betting shop open from early in the morning, particularly on a Saturday.
When Miss Music can't find her husband.
You should know if you go by a betting shop and him gamble out the pay where him get last night. Right? And then by the time English racing close off by midday,
Cayman
Cayman Spark racing open up now. And then all of the real gambling go on. Because most man get a little prips from the jockey, you know, by number 6 in the race.
Or the trainer.
No, the trainer no run thing, you know, jockey run the track.
The jockey
all
carry
kind of
battery.
thing. and not only that, they make arrangement with each other who gonna win and then bet, cross betting and all them thing. But that was the feature of the period. Remember to 1960s, you know, the whole heap of television. I think by that time, JBC must have just started to try a thing with TV, sign on about 6 o'clock in the evening, and by 10 o'clock it sign off back again. You know, the whole heap of programming. But that was a feature of the period. Now, the long shot race, long shot bust me bet. Long shot was what you call a journeyman horse. Occasionally him win, but him always in the frame, you know. If they no win second and third. So you can always buy a perm bet, which include long shot, right? A perm bet is he might come second, or you can mix it up with somebody, win and place. Or, you know, you buy a long shot for win or place. And if him come second or third, you get a little something for your money. So long shot was one of them journeyman horse. And then this particular day, long shot run out of the frame and every man, I have some man buy some round the clock bet, you know, with 8 horses on the bet. And how them buy the bet is that them put long shot as a horse so them know must place. So if long shot not place and all of the other horses them come in, the bet they dead. And long shot this time never come first, second, nor third. Long shot finished way down the frame. But outside of that, long shot was a horse running 200 and odd races at Caymanas Park. I think he ran 203 races at Caymanas Park, and he finished within the frame in about 90% of them. So I think it was a G or a F class horse, if I remember correctly. And then what happened now, the song you played earlier, which was actually done by the Pioneers for Kong at Beverly's, was when Longshot dropped down and dead on the track. Longshot run his final race, his 200 race. And then he come around the corner, the horse in front, the horse that was in front fell down. I hear him say, whatever the horse name fell, and then Longshot fell and broke him neck. That was it.
Wow.
So, but that was the story with Longshot. Again, the Pioneers made a big, well, those songs were a big part of what enhanced their careers, to the extent that those records, they were able to tour on those records, went to England, in fact, and you know, established themselves as a significant group. In fact, when they were doing the recording at Joe Gibbs, the first record, Longshot, Bust Me Bet, it was only 2 of them, and they needed a third guy as to sort of harmonize. And they found this little youngster who was sitting outside of the studio, and they say, "You can't sing?" And he would say, "Yes, boss, we can't sing, man." He say, "Well, let me sing, let me hear you." And the youth must have bust a little tune, and I can't remember his name now. But they brought him into the group, and he became the third. But before the show is out, I'll tell you, we'll remind what his name was. But that is Joe Gibbs getting started. Now, he also had in his camp Lee Scratch Perry. Perry had just recently had a falling out with Coxsone, who he had literally grown up with Coxsone. He started out as a boxman, carried the sound system box, hook up the sound, run the wires and thing, and then eventually he started to help out in the studio. But Coxsone wouldn't, pay them enough money, and you know, him and Coxsone fall out. Plus he felt himself to be a singer, and that he had, you know, a better ability to contribute to the music, but Coxsone wouldn't give him a break. And so he cussed off Coxsone and leave, and he joined Joe Gibbs. And of course, he was sort of a kind of a talent spotter for Joe Gibbs, in as much as he fancied himself as a singer and put out a couple of tunes. In fact, he put out a tune that was kind of directed at Coxsone, a tune called "I Am the Upsetter." And you know, things went well for a while, and then of course himself and Joe Gibbs again fell out. And them say it's like a marriage, you know, if a man married more than 2 times, right? And him a third marriage, and the wife had the problem, you know, must you, because you are the common element in the equation. And so the fact that Perry seemed to be all over the place with everybody. But anyway, he did some work with Joe Gibbs, and again, as I said, they fell out over money, and they parted ways, and he put out a tune which was really a jab. It was
Joe
one of the
Gibbs.
first, what you call, tracing tune, a tune called People Funny Boy, and of course Joe Gibbs answer him back with a tune called People Grudgeful
Grudgeful.
Boy. And those tunes, as I said, started the kind of back and forth tracing between artists and whatever. And I'm pretty sure
so, yeah.
you'll give us a little taste.
Give out a
what that
taste
was.
of I Am the Upsetter because we're coming up on a break, and then I'll play People Funny Boy and then People Grudgeful.
Why you so cavalicious? Yeah. Why you so covetous? Yeah. Everything you want for yourself, and you think of no one else. Why you so red-eyed? Why can't you satisfy? Why people funny boy? Why people funny boy? Know that you reached the top and you turn big shot. All I've done for you, you don't remember that. When you were down and out, I used to help you out. But now that you win jackpot, you don't remember that. Now that you turn big shot, boy, you have big chat.
Why people got school boy? Why people got school boy? When I was down and out, you didn't help me out. Now that I win jackpot, you want to talk about. Now that I turn big shot, you start to chat. You can walk and talk, but me not care at all. You can walk and talk, but me not care at all. Why people got full boy? Why people got full boy? Remember the next you used
Send
to
money
watch.
back home this tax season with JN Money. Now you can send money to any bank account in Jamaica and get 10% off your transaction fees. Plus, send money to a JN Money card or even pay bills in Jamaica. This tax season, there's so much you can do when you send money back home with JN Money.
Licensed as a money transmitter by the Banking Department of the State of Florida and Georgia.
Listen, everyone can use a little pick-me-up. And when it's that time, reach for a bottle of Zion Organic Roots, made from all natural ingredients. Zion Roots and ginseng, tiger balm, bedroom bully is the natural alternative. Zion Roots is available at all local restaurants and Caribbean stores. Visit our website at zionrootsorganic.com or call 954-588-5203. Zion Roots, the natural alternative.
What makes my heart beat? Finding myself on the sunny side of life, where I can surround myself with everything I want. What makes my heart beat? Trying new foods, created by people who are as excited to make it as I am to taste it. What makes my heart beat? Keeping a promise to myself and to the one who has my heart. Home is where the heart is. My heart says Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Jamaica,
the home of authentic reggae music and reggae wear. Reggae wear, the gear for any occasion. Reggae wear, stylish. Reggae gear, fashionable. Authentic garments, the rhythm of Jamaica. Wrap yourself in the warmth of reggae wear. Get your reggae gear today. Visit www.yardmedia.com. Capture the rhythm of Jamaica in reggae wear. Vibrant colors for spring, summer, fall, and winter. Visit our website at www.yardmedia.com and get your reggae gear today.
Turn around by you. Jump out the frying pan. You're bound to jump in a fire. When I were with you, look how you're big and fat, girl. And now you look like a rain-wet rat. Girl, away from me. Me no want to see you no way. Sorry, Magadog. I'm say Magadog, turn round by you. Jump in a fire. See you come from country in a country chop. Tell me say you a look little walk. Girl, go way over there. Me no want to see you round here. Sorry, Magadog. I'm say Magadog, turn round like you. Jump out the frying pan. You're bound to jump in a fire. Dog bite you a morning, him we bite you a evening. You see the same dog bite you a morning, my gosh, him we bite you a evening. So I'm a once bitten and I'm twice shy. So please don't ask me why. Once bitten and I'm twice shy. So please don't ask me why. I don't want to hear you say, 'cause I told you long before it wouldn't work out that way. And now you're coming to me with tears in your eyes. But one thing I got to tell you, step back with your lies. 'Cause I'm a once bitten and I'm twice shy. So please don't ask me why. I'm a once bitten and I'm twice shy. So please don't ask me why. I can't stand this no longer. The wicked get stronger. I can't stand this no longer. The battle's getting hotter. They might get a beating one time. They must get a beating.
Have to get a beat.
I forget a beat, man. The man say you fatten up the music and make it sound wicked.
The man and Simon Maga Dog tune with once bitten, twice shy.
You know what is interesting about those three selections you played, oh God, is that Once Bitten was essentially Peter Tosh leaving, on reflection, because when they left, when the Wailers left Coxsone, this was the tune was originally done. Margadog was originally done by the Wailers, and Tosh revisited it. So it was kind of
This was a hit, though.
the departure from Coxsone. But when he went to Joe Gibbs and redid it, and as Magic said earlier, Joe Gibbs kind of fattened up the rhythm and thing, and the song so nice. So they started out well, Peter Tosh and Joe Gibbs, because Peter was now in the throes of pursuing his own solo career, and he released a lot of tunes with Joe Gibbs at the time. But I guess the same malady that affected all the producers in the record business in Jamaica from
Jump Street.
Absolutely. You know, Coxsone, all of them. Even Prince Buster, who had left, same kind of situation. The artists and them started to fall out. And this is after Gibbs had produced a number of big tunes with Peter Tosh, and money problem, and Peter Tosh decided to walk. And of course, the Once Bitten, Twice Shy tune. Margadog was kind of a throwaway back at Coxsone, but Once Bitten was him saying, it happened to me already at Coxsone, and I'm not going to allow it to happen to him with another producer. And he would now basically go out and create his own record label. Intel Diplo, I think, was the product of this experience he had with Joe Gibbs. And Joe Gibbs would have lost one of the best artists that would have come in his orbit. And again, it's just kind of nonsensical that as a producer, you're making money off of the tune. Why not keep the artist happy? But such is was the status quo in the music business at the time. And of course, the artists who knew better, and Peter Tosh certainly was one of those, he decided to go about his business. Interestingly, at the time, Gibbs had formed, because by now he is growing.
Attracting some of the top musicians
attracting top musicians
and
in fact,
artists.
They had moved the studio from downtown because they had they changed address from Beeston Street, moved closer to Orange Street initially, and then eventually they found a place at Retirement Road. Retirement Road was kind of developing as a sort of sub-commercial district.
It's near to Brentford Road.
Right. And they established the studio there. And at the time, Gibbs formed an alliance with Errol Thompson, who was an engineer of some repute. And they now would take up the ante as far as the music was concerned. In fact, with the departure of Scratch Perry, it was
90 The Observer.
90 The Observer.
Well, at the time it was 90. Later on, they would
call him 90 The Observer. I think the Observer would have come through his association with Bonnie Lee. But 90 became the A&R man, if you will, and also was the man who did the studio work in terms of the arranging of the songs and so on and so forth.
But didn't he have also a setup on South Parade?
That's what, he moved from Beeston Street to South Parade, which was kind of just
Closer
around
to
the
the
corner
hub.
from Orange Street.
Yeah, closer to the hub.
Right, and because as you go around the corner, there was Randy's over on the other side, and then you go up the road where you have Riley, the Techniques put up their shop.
Right, and then you have
Prince Buster up the road.
down the corner. Yep.
And you go all the way up. But the relationship with Errol Thompson came after they moved the studio from North Parade and up to Retirement Road. Should point out to
Crossroads.
Right, that Joe Gibbs had also done a couple of other recordings, not of any note. They did some work with Heptones, but it was Peter Tosh that was the big one. And then when he formed the alliance with Errol Thompson, they called themselves the Mighty Two. That now changed the way, because
Whole
Errol
trajectory
Thompson
of his business.
Absolutely, because Errol Thompson introduced his own little gymnastics in the studio that would change the sound, to use magic term, him saying fatten up the rhythm and thing. And then Errol Thompson introduced a couple of artists to Joe Gibbs. One of them was Dennis Emmanuel Brown. The other would have been what's her name? Marcia Aiken. You had Althea and Donna. Marcia Aiken did some work on the what was the tune called? I'm Still in Love. It was an Alton Ellis tune.
Alton Ellis original, but
Right.
there was remade.
And in fact, that Alton Ellis tune was a source of a copyright infringement on the part of Gibbs, which he never learned from, and we will talk about that as you get closer.
Before that, though, Richie, he did some work with like a gentleman, Nicky Thomas, and also Eric Donaldson, Love of the Common People.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, he had both Nicky Thomas and Eric Donaldson voice the same song, Love of the Common People.
And he released Eric Donaldson's version.
And Nicky Thomas, Have a Little Faith, and If I Had a Hammer. Those were songs that were big foundation songs in the early. Those are what you call jukebox songs.
Jukebox song,
Along with Marga Dog.
Yeah.
They were never really big on the radio, but if you listen to jukebox back in the day, that's the kind of song you're going to hear, especially this one from Eric Donaldson.
Living on free food ticket, water in the milk from the holes in the roof when the rain came through. What can you do? Ooh. Tears from your little sister, crying cause she doesn't have a dress without a patch or a party to go. What do you know? She'll get back. For she's living in the love of a common people. Smiles from the heart of a family man. Daddy's gonna buy you twinkle, twinkle. Mommy's gonna love you till as much as she can. It's a good thing you don't have a bus fare. It would fall through the holes in your pocket and you lose it in the snow on the ground. You got to walk into town to find a job, trying to keep your hands warm, but the holes in your shoe and the snow comes through, boy, it chills you to the bone. I say you better go home.
Yeah, I remember Mass Papi jukebox. Mass Papi jukebox used to feel it when I'm showing you. A 5 cent give you 2 song and 10 cent give you 3.
Yeah, talk about what? Yeah, 1970s, yes, because the thing changed from to dollars and cents. But I can remember my Steve jukebox. So you see the man with them white rum and milk, you know. And them, it's like the man might cry tears in that white rum and the milk in the party. Right? And Nicky Thomas had tear down the place.
Yeah, man, that and Sorry for Marga Dog
I'm telling you.
and Bob Marley's Cold Ground Was My Bed, Talking Blues. Those were some serious, and you know, don't even mention the Percy Sledges.
Oh, Lord. But let's talk about Nicky Thomas. Well, not a bad little singer. Coming out of it. Again, enjoyed a reasonable amount of success, particularly in England, because his singing style basically suited that. And it was around that time when the music was migrating to the UK. So he spent a fair amount of time, did over, you know, as we call him, a lick over tune. But I didn't think he gave a bad account of himself. And, you know, his catalog, not big, but a lot of what you call journeyman tunes that they have done well. Eric Donaldson and that particular effort, after that he entered the festival thing.
Cherry Your Baby, 1971.
Right. And he basically just toured on the festival. In fact, they basically gave him the festival crown and retired after that, because I think he win about 40 times after that.
No, fresh out of Studio One was Dennis Emmanuel Brown. And first song was Money in My Pocket with Big Youth. That was the song. And that was with Errol Thompson was now
the man behind the wheels.
So let's give the listeners a touch off of Money in My Pocket.
Money in my pocket, but I just can't get no love. Money in my pocket, but I just can't get no love. I'm praying for a girl to be my own. Sonia said she's coming, but I don't believe a word she said, 'cause she ran away and left me one rainy day. She made me have in mind that her love would never die, and now I'm alone, so alone, yeah.
Now love was the thing that money could buy. The rich who got love, while the poor got a lot to hate, is I would say, you know. So man, enjoy yourself, it's later than you think, 'cause I would tell you, you know. So is there. So we say, yeah, so we stay.
Money in my
And so we stay. And so we stay. And so we stay, yes, I will stay. So come on down the way, so we stay. So we stay. And so we stay.
So you said she
and so I said she, and so you say you, so it's still, and I would play, wow baby, so it stays, I would really say, and so it's still, and I would say, tell you, about the song on the wheel, come on down with me,
so alone, yeah.
and so you got no one to call you own. I saw it stay. Hey, I saw it stay. I saw it stay.
Dennis Brown and the Big Youth, and this I think started the whole thing with the Disco 45, Richie.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Gibbs was the man who it was he who introduced. Well,
Because-
I guess this concert
Alright.
with Errol Thompson.
So let's look at it in perspective. Even if there was a part 2, it was on the backside of the 45.
Right.
But with the Disco 45, still look like a LP, but it still spins at 45 RPM. And then now, it would just be a continuation of the original song.
Merging of the original into what would have been the version.
Right.
So you turn it into one song.
One big long song.
But you give 2 people a bite on the same song.
Right. Not on the flip side of the record. So
Right.
both of you get equal billing on the
On the front
label.
side, right.
And they had a winning combination with that because they're talking about Dolphin Nagohead Morris with Prince Farai and Susupan Rasta Heavy Manners. You're talking about the same Nago Morris with Trinity, Susupan Rasta and Susupan the Dread. Then you're
Marcia
talking
18.
about the Uptown Top Ranking.
Yeah.
Dennis Brown combination with George
Nooks.
Nooks, otherwise known as Prince Muhammad then. And we're going to give you quite a few of those. But the next big youth, which came right after that, was on the Waterhouse Rock Rhythm with Chucky No Lucky.
Say pull your school by the school. Pull your school by the school. Say Jaja children don't just blue faces out there. Pull your school by the school. Say no one so chucky no. Say no one so chucky no. Say no one so chucky no one so. Say no one so chucky no one so. And look at that. Because you know that chucky don't look you. Tell you. But the songs I will say. Say no one so chucky don't want so. Don't you do this I will say. So chucky no. No one so chucky no one so. Say no one so chucky no. Say no one so chucky no one so. Because you know that chucky no.
Now, you know, when a man a chucky pan you.
The
But then there's
term
also
actually-
the cripple skank, also known as the Chucky.
Yeah, but the Chucky at the time was long before that movie came out. You know.
Yes, yes,
thing.
yeah.
It was,
That was
the
in the
term
eight-
was Chuck Badness.
Yes.
Oh
So,
yeah,
Chucky.
Chuck Badness, so. You go on like thing and you know, man, I walk up on road a Chuck Badness. Sometimes bad boy used to walk and tear down people's zinc with your shoulder. Cause him lean against the fence and you remember that magic?
Yeah, man, my speng. My
You
speng.
have on your cheese bottom Clarks and your gunmouth foot turleen and wool pants with your arrow shirt and your welder glasses. That are the quintessential Chuck Badness and so Big Youth basically take that.
And it
But
had its own walk too.
Absolutely. And then all bad man used to ride S90 motorcycle, right? It wasn't the early bike was the big head under 50. And then it graduated to the S90, and then after that it had the Honda 354, which was the big bike of the day. But prior to that, and just to stay with the music, you have to give Errol Thompson and Joe Gibbs a lot of credit at this time. Eh?
Yes.
Oh yes, when Mr. CB200.
Well, we
yes,
even
that
have a
was
song, and
the thing
that was
with
also
Big U.
produced by Joe Gibbs.
Right, the CB200.
Yes.
Right, and we're going to touch that when we come back
from the break.
But
yes.
a point that has to be made. In this period, we're talking about the early 1970s, all the studios were in serious competition, because if you listen to the beat of this tune and then you go back, it was at the same time when Augustus Pablo was making his mark with his melodica. Of course, as a 12 tribe man, this was Augustus Pablo putting out some of the wickedest rhythm with his brother, Gat Swaby, down at the, Orange Street and North Street corner there. They were, all these studios were competing. Of course, you had in addition to Joe, Coxsone was still, the king of the reggae music thing. but he was getting a lot of run for his money from people like Joe Gibbs, Bunny Lee to a lesser extent. And by this time, the guys from Channel 1 because Channel 1 was really, I think those guys were operating a sound system and would have been looking seriously at the music at the time to throw them own hat in the ring. But it showed that Gibbs had basically created a path for himself. And as you said earlier, God, with the Disco 45 thing, that gave him an advantage that nobody else had. In fact, as a man, you play a little sound system at the time. When you turn up a dance or a little house party with a Disco 45 in them time there, you win, man. Eh? You win. Because
in time you used to have the big credenza, which is a stereo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he just stack all the records and them just autoplay. Yeah.
And you cook a little chicken back with curry chicken back with some white rice. Curry chicken that.
And some flour dumpling.
And then you make some rum punch with some Appleton and some strawberry syrup and lime. And I eat that. I rum punch that.
Some ice.
And party. Man, drink and drunk.
Ice from the ice factory with the chips.
Absolutely, yes, man. You come here, we're going to have King Jam ice. So you buy a 50-pound black ice and I use that. And party wicked. But this is the era where we're coming from. And the music is fattening itself now because a lot of the artists who were youngsters now finding them way. Dennis Brown.
92, yes. We have a couple more Dennis Brown to drop too,
And thing. But I think we're up on a break.
Yes, yes.
So let's do that and we come back and we're going to touch the CB200 that I missed out of the list and we move on. There we
Listen,
go.
everyone can use a little pick-me-up. And when it's that time, reach for a bottle of Zion Organic Roots, made from all natural ingredients. Zion Roots and ginseng, tiger balm, bedroom bully is the natural alternative. Zion Roots is available at all local restaurants and Caribbean stores. Visit our website at zionrootsorganic.com or call 954-588-5203. Zion Roots, the natural alternative.
Send money back home this tax season with JN Money. Now you can send money to any bank account in Jamaica and get 10% off your transaction fees. Plus, send money to a JN Money card or even pay bills in Jamaica. This tax season, there's so much you can do when you send money back home with JN Money.
Licensed as a money transmitter by the Banking Department of the State of Florida and Georgia.
What makes my heart beat? Finding myself on the sunny side of life, where I can surround myself with everything I want. What makes my heart beat? Trying new foods, created by people who are as excited to make it as I am to taste it. What makes my heart beat? Keeping a promise to myself and to the one who has my heart. Home is where the heart is. My heart says, Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Jamaica, the home of authentic reggae music and reggae wear. Reggae wear, the gear for any occasion. Reggae wear, stylish. Reggae gear, fashionable. Authentic garments, the rhythm of Jamaica. Wrap yourself in the warmth of reggae wear. Get your reggae gear today. Visit www.yardmedia.com. Capture the rhythm of Jamaica in reggae wear. Vibrant colors for spring, summer, fall, and winter. Visit our website at www.yardmedia.com and get your reggae gear today.
Heal Diamonds. It's the Ninja. You want to see where Diamond stand up with a channel and studio in a star. And I'm on size 2 dread on a CB200. Dolly on a Z star. Great sound gone. CB200.
I'm not rich, but the sun shines to me.
Mercy, Lord, Lord have mercy. Hold me tight, y'all. Say 100, 200. Sat up on a CB200. I said 200. You better show me your naughty dread. I saw the dread flashing lamps on a lightning clap and a record job.
Yield star, I wear the man in the rasta a long time. I don't see there in no dread. Master, not true to the war, me have a master one like a whole and thing. But anyway, no peace treaty, so me have to come out and get like a fresh air. The music and sounds called the war is over. So whether you name Christian or Clover or Casanova, you got to come over and do the bossa nova. Yeah. Tribal war. What am I going with Rasta? We know what no more I die. Them some their foolishness dread. Man to know themselves fire. Serious something. Tell you that a serious something. I know that we are yeah. Son, don't take your guns to town because the war is over. Tell you say that son, don't take your guns to town because the war is over.
Yeah. Everyone get ready. Don't try to stop dreading. Not the dread time is here. Don't lose your cool. Respect the rules. Not the dread time is here. So you hear the children dreading. Not the dreadlocks. Naughty, not up and dready. Naughty dreadlocks. Naughty, not up and dready. Naughty dreadlocks. Naughty, not up and dready. Naughty dreadlocks.
Oh, cause they got Tosh and Liza in the ring.
Ah, what?
Cause them not to ya keep you rockin' and sing.
Not true.
Cause them not to ya make you do your own thing.
Throw away your one trackle code, Jack. Come make we fight fist to fist, rubber dub. Fight fist to fist, rubber dub.
No, Miller, me say that you are the woman and me are the man, but you look so strong.
Ah, what?
Girl, me prefer lick you with a whole sing pan. Girl, me prefer lick you with a whole sing pan.
Tell you, say me not left me born long.
Say so, say me wasn't I left you.
Tell you, say me not left me born long.
Oh, because out of many say that we are one. Out of many say that we are one.
Not left me born long.
Like me wasn't I left you.
Till you say me not left me born long.
Teeth and tongue say them gone up the stadium. Teeth and tongue say them gone up the stadium. Say how does he run a them run? Girl, me say how does he run a them run?
In track shoes and body socks.
Say them run all day long. God let me tell you them a run 5 furlong, you know.
Till you say me not left me born long.
Like me wasn't I left you.
Till you say me not left me born long.
Say so, come in,
Yeah, singers versus DJs on the same record.
That was the domain of Joe Gibbs. But a point that has to be made. Just on reflection, we featured a number of voices and a number of rhythms that we could identify. If you're familiar with the the years of the festival song competition, a lot of these rhythms, you did that Freddie McKay rhythm. I think the Jamaicans had done a song on it, Baba Boom.
Yes.
That would have been the early 1970s. I think Baba Boom would have been 69. I remember the festival. But those were all festival songs. Joe Gibbs would have produced some of those songs. And one of the feature of the festival songs in those years was the competition among the studios.
1967.
Who 67 was Baba Boom.
Yes.
Right. And so Joe Gibbs basically had revisited the track with the sampling with the Kojak and Liza. But the music came out, the festival song in those days was very solid competition among singers and studios. And so a studio who win the right to record some of these songs literally had an advantage. And Joe Gibbs, because of the kind of output that he was doing, secured a lot of that advantage.
Plus Errol Thompson was part of the whole JBC
Absolutely.
network too,
And remember too, JBC had basically came onto the scene to sort of level the playing field, because the view was that the other radio station, RJR at the time, would not have been giving enough exposure to the music that was being produced in Jamaica. And so JBC provided that opportunity, and Errol Thompson, who in latter years would have had a show on JBC, one of the longest running shows on JBC, where he was basically demonstrating his dexterity and his expertise with the music as well. Kojak and Liza, again, two big find by Joe Gibbs, and to a couple who put out quite a clutch of songs that became staples. Even to this day, you go to a regular party, and if the DJ is sharp enough and understand him crowd and draw for a Kojak and Liza, the dance mashup. And I'm pretty sure, knowing you, Mr. Big G, you have a few more of those lined up. Let's give a listen.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is that when you're looking at Dennis Brown, because the Kojak and Liza, Ramit, which came off of that, Dennis Brown. Oh my God, I had it set up here so well this morning. But let's listen to the Ramit and then see if I can find it.
Don't worry about that. But the other thing, while you're looking at that too, because Joe Gibbs also took culture under his wings and produced a couple of songs.
27's Clash was the album.
Right. And another seminal piece of work. So this period of the music, the second half of the 1970s, if you ask me, Joe Gibbs demonstrated his stronghold, if you will, on the given the kind of output, because you had Rankin Trevor and what's her name with 3-piece suit and thing. You had Althea and Donna, and so you had the issue with Alton Ellis and the Althea, the Marcia Aiken thing as well, which created a problem within the local music fraternity, because Alton Ellis basically created quite a stir, because he said he was not, he didn't benefit from the kind of financial returns that came from the song. So in addition to creating a different approach to the mixing and output of the sound, Joe Gibbs was not a man who strayed too far away from controversy. But let me go over to you and run the music.
You think I love one thing. To you, my love, it may be the way it seems, but I love the way you carry yourself. I even love you for what you may become. Ain't that love in you? Ain't that love in you for more reasons than one?
Both you walk on, both you talk on, both you say that you love Kojak on, both you do that, both you get fun, both you say that a Kojak do that. Can you keep a secret?
Yes, star.
You got to keep it in your mind.
Not true.
You say not tell it to no policeman.
No, star.
You say not tell it to no soldier man. Cause there's a hole in the bucket. Say dear Liza, say dear Liza. Say there's a hole in the bucket. Say dear Liza, say dear Liza. Say there's a hole in the bucket. Say dear Liza, a hole.
Well, cocky, Koja, cocky.
How you mean?
Cocky, Koja, cocky.
Now me learn with what shall I cock it, Liza? Say with what shall I cock it, Liza?
With a stick, Koja, with a stick. With a stick, Koja, with a stick.
Well, watch your man. Me say the stick is too big, dear Liza. Me say the stick is too big, dear Liza.
Well, ram it, Koja, ram it. Me say for ram it, Koja, ram it.
Well, watch your man. Both you walk on, both you talk on, both you say that you love Kojak on.
I want to come quick, and don't bring no walking stick. But I play brand new musical this from my brand new disco mix. D-Y-N-D-D. Running up and down won't help in this time. We all got to be positive in our mind. Running up and down won't help in this time. We all got to be positive in our mind. Take it, yeah, my brother, take it. Don't go astray, yeah, heading the wrong way. I know you're here to do right. You're true and fair in Judge's sight. Take heed, my brother, running up and down won't help in this time. We all got to be positive in our mind. Running up and down won't help in this time. We all got to be positive in our mind. Take heed, yeah, my brother, take heed. Good things comes to those who wait, yeah. Meekly wait and murmur not.
Yes, that was Dennis Brown and Big Youth with Running Up and Down. Before that, we played Ain't That Loving You? And that was followed up by Kojak and Liza.
Yeah, we should point out, though, that the CB200 that we played earlier, it was a run-in between the original song and the version, but it was actually done by Jojo Hookim at Channel 1. So we just want to...
Not give no erroneous information.
We want to just make sure that we correct that. But again, Dennis Brown had a significant relationship with Joe Gibbs. In fact, it was Dennis Brown's contribution to that really helped to elevate the studio to the kind of levels that it had. And certainly the relationship with the artist community that it developed over time. Dennis Brown, as coming from a child prodigy, established his name. He had done his own circle, if you will, as far as his studio work was Coxsone, Derek Harriott, You know, he by this time he is now looking about getting started with his own label, but he was kind of forging his. In fact, he had an arrangement with the studio with Joe Gibbs, where not only he would allow Joe Gibbs the use of the rhythm for what he did with his Disco 45, with the understanding that Dennis Brown's own work that he was producing, he would have been able to do that at the studio without being charged for the studio time. But I think, again, most of these studio operators were not necessarily operating above board. And over time, this relationship with Joe Gibbs and Dennis Brown would find itself on the rocks for the same reason, because the studio was making additional money by licensing the tunes outside of Jamaica, and the artist has no say in terms of that, no royalty, no nothing. And more importantly, for the same reason that he got in trouble with people like with Peter Tosh and so on, is that the ownership of the record itself, when the record went overseas, the artist is hardly mentioned in the credits, and so the studio is taking credit for writing the song, etc., etc. And for those reasons, in time, these artists know they find, they started out young, but they now remain young for them entire life. And as they get them feet wet in the music business, they are beginning to understand the runnings of the thing and deciding to take control.
And if you look at basically what was happening too, is, the way Joe Gibbs looked, my grandmother said him look like a Ginal. But let's hit it up with this Uptown Top ranking, because
you're rough, bad man,
1970s. Listen, Richie, between 1975 and early 80s,
them tune was a lick.
Serious production coming out of Retirement Road. Talking about songs like Jaja See Them A Come, Culture, with Shorty the President, Leo Graham, I Win Them, Junior Mervin, Cool Out Sun, and a Real Rock Rhythm. The whole album that Culture put out, 2/7 Clash. J.C. Lodge, Someone Loves You Honey.
And we're going to talk about that, J.C.
Also, another song, Does My Ring Hurt Your Finger?
Right.
Then you're talking about Uptown Top ranking thing in the 1970s, Loving Papa, Roddy Thomas and Trinity, Then, of course, the whole host of rhythm that was produced at the time, credited to Joe Gibbs and the Professionals. But let's go up to, we didn't even mention Jackie Brown with a big song, again, another jukebox song, Send Me the Pillow, but that was early 70s. We did play a little bit of that Jonah Biles with Kojak and Liza, but there's a song that we're overlooking, Richie, again, in the same time, with the term rockers, which was, I think, coined at the time by Jacob Miller. And the song by Glenn Washington, a song called Rockers No Crackers.
Rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music on ya. I am rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music out there. Cities and country towns, it's everywhere around. Rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music on ya. I am rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music out there. Kingston to London town, it's everywhere around. Rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music on ya. I am rockers, I know crackers, rockers are every music out there.
Jamming soul,
college to pass him subject. Said he not to pass him GCE. Said he not to pass him JSC. Said he not to beat up in a UC. Mercy Lord, not to have ambition. That's why he study about the Babylon. Said he not to study about the Babylon teaching. Said he not to study about the Babylon teaching. Them say left, right, too wrong. Mercy Lord, we left, right, too wrong. But I and I pass I subject. Mercy Lord, and I don't deal with no object. Said he not to don't deal with in a drip. Said he not to sit up in a UC.
Stand up, put your hat where you can't reach it. It doesn't make no sense. Good things come to those who work hard for it. Adjust yourself to the life you can afford to live. The road to the top is long and winding. A foolish dog bark up to flying bird. Patient man, right donkey. Cool out sun. Cool out sun. You have to creep before you walk.
Come give me a loving. Come give me a kissing, girl. Come give me a loving, yes. You are my black princess. You are my queen of the moonshine. You are my everything, girl. Yes. I always admire you, girl, such a long time. And now you wanna change. Come give me a loving, girl. Come give me a kissing, girl. You are my black princess. You are my queen of the moonshine.
When I used to go to school, you know they taught me the golden rule. They say, son, you better know yourself, because in time to come it's going to be dread. I know me gone, I know man's land. Me never want go, I know man's land. I know me gone, I know man's land. I am me there, I know man's land. Why did I take their foolish advice? I learned my lesson like a good child. If I did, I'd be living in style. Good Lord in heaven, no, I wasn't born to hide. Yeah, I know me gone, I know man's land. Me never want go, I know man's land. I know me gone, I know man's land. Yeah, me never want go, I know man's land.
This is the Rockers. This is the Rockers, ladies and gentlemen.
You keep on knocking, knocking, knocking. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Oh yeah. Love is a message that I must send to you. Waiting for reply, dear, no matter how long it takes.
Who that? Come and see this old man, see this old man, see this old man. I me say he play one, I me say this old man, see this old man, see this old man is a conscious man. I me say this old man never trouble no woman. See this old man is a conscious man. I me say this old man, say this old man, say this old man. I me say he play for we came on knocking up a young girl door. Till he came on rapping up a young girl door. Cause if you wanna hear some other people forward to me door, that I really love you, so I'm gonna really tell you something. I me say this old man, say this old man, say this old man. I never trouble no woman. I me say this
Money. Now you can send money to any bank account in Jamaica and get 10% off your transaction fees. Plus, send money to a JN Money card or even pay bills in Jamaica. This tax season, there's so much you can do when you send money back home with JN Money.
Licensed as a money transmitter by the Banking Department of the State of Florida and Georgia.
Listen, everyone can use a little pick-me-up. And when it's that time, reach for a bottle of Zion Organic Roots, made from all natural ingredients. Zion Roots and ginseng, tiger bone, bedroom bully is the natural alternative. Zion Roots is available at all local restaurants and Caribbean stores. Visit our website at zionrootsorganic.com or call 954-588-5203. Zion Roots, the natural alternative.
What makes my heart beat? Finding myself on the sunny side of life, where I can surround myself with everything I want. What makes my heart beat? Trying new foods, created by people who are as excited to make it as I am to taste it. What makes my heart beat? Keeping a promise to myself and to the one who has my heart. Home is where the heart is. My heart says, Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Jamaica, the home of authentic reggae music and reggae wear. Reggae wear, the gear for any occasion. Reggae wear, stylish. Reggae gear, fashionable. Authentic garments, the rhythm of Jamaica. Wrap yourself in the warmth of reggae wear. Get your reggae gear today. Visit www.yardmedia.com. Capture the rhythm of Jamaica in reggae wear. Vibrant colors for spring, summer, fall, and winter. Visit our website at www.yardmedia.com and get your reggae gear today.
You don't want to be that guy. You honestly don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy who going to buy a shirt from Yard Media. You know, we must take a few seconds out of the program just to say a big thank you to the people who
have been making purchases so far.
Absolutely. People have been going to the website, purchasing our shirts. We want to just make you aware that buying these shirts helps to keep us on the air. We have some other programs that we're working on, and we want to use some of those, the proceeds from these sales to finance the raising up of a couple other projects that we have in the pipeline, and hopefully by the second half of the year, we will be able to treat you, our valued listeners and viewers, to this additional content. So go to the website, yardmedia.com, that's YAAWD media.com, and purchase a couple of shirts, hoodies or sweatshirts. And of course, we have on the site now, we have just launched the Jamaica 60 t-shirts and caps, and we're gonna invite you to go there and grab a few for your family and friends. And remember, Yard Media, we ship all over the world using the United States Postal Service. Also want to just take a quick thank you as well to our sponsors, people who have kept faith with us and have been advertising on our program. That helps to keep the program on the air.
And not only that, Richard, for those of you who consistently watch week after week or listen week after week, we want to give you thanks, because if you weren't there watching or listening, our sponsors would not be supporting us. So
absolutely,
we have to give thanks to you. Getting right back into some music in the 1970s, late 1970s, on a rhythm called the boxing rhythm.
me something, girl. Can I sit beside you? I've got 1,000 things to say. I've got 1,000 things on my mind to say to you. Yes, girl. I've got 1,000 things on my mind waiting on you. Hear me now. You open up your heart to let me in. Yes, girl. I said you open up your heart to let me in. Hear me now. Don't leave me hanging like a puppet on the string. Yes, girl. I said you open up your heart to let me in. We are lost. I'm the one who loves you.
It's easy to remember, but so hard to forget. The day you walked out of my life, baby, I thought you'd be in paradise. By the way you make so much noise and follow all your silly friends' advice. But baby, now you're boxing over here and you're boxing over there. You're boxing all over the place. Baby, I tell you, you're boxing over here and you're boxing over there. Jamaica. Hey, they say that love has take over. So make me tell you, say that love has take over. Cause when me say, them not really brag and them not really boast. But some of them love the muggle down and not post. And love has take over. So make me tell you, say them full of Jamaica. Go right and now me say that love has take over. How will we do? We walking through the park, me say we don't sky love. The woman wear the roach, so the man wear the cloth. And love has take over. So right and now me say we full of Jamaica. I always every day is just a holiday. I don't care what the crowd may say. I live the life I love with you, having fun while you were feeling blue. Ooh, baby, every day is just a holiday.
Oh, Lord.
I don't care what the crowd may say.
Say so.
On your mark, you better get set. So make a step, not to dread on the go. On your mark, you better get set. So
So make a step, not to dread and the go. Cause all who feel and no get no box go hide themself in a peanut trash. Tie me your seatbelt, light up your split. Come make we track to Zion. Sing it say that Zion is a black man land. I tell you say that Zion is a black man plan.
I'm not in a position to maintain you the way that you're accustomed to. Can't take you out to fancy places like other fellas that I know can do. I'm only able to romance you and make you tingle with delight. Financially, I'm a pauper, but when it comes to loving, I'm alright. Alright, I'm alright. Said I went to a Issa to buy a nickel bike. The price to the bike make me broke a nickel fight. I must see judgment time. Lord, I must see judgment time. Me said I went in the market to buy a piece of food. The price for the food me have to go on like me rude. I must see judgment time. Till you must see judgment time. I said I went road to Elite to buy a liquor store. The price for this food me have to fall in a good. I must see judgment time. Oh, sing it must see judgment time. I said I went uptown to take out a bed. The cost for the bed me have to farm like me red. I must see judgment time. Sing it must see judgment time. The hard road to travel. Tell you one a mighty long way to go. Tell you say that Jaja the blessed savior. Man him go and lead her to the way I know. Many have claimed say them gone to the valley. Them claim say them gone where the water flow. Say move for your foot and make me put for me. Move for your foot and make me put for me.
Somebody will make you cry. Then drops will fall down from your eyes. So go ahead and have your fun, girl. Don't you know I'm still in love with you, girl? Go ahead and have yourself a ball. You're riding forever. So me I beg you and I'll see your girlfriend. Say me I beg you and I'll see your girlfriend. Say that I borrow me and borrow and don't let me delay. Borrow me and borrow and don't let me delay. Beg you and I'll see your girlfriend. Show me and beg you and I'll see your girlfriend. I want to muggle from 1 to 10. I want to go back in the little basket. Come me say, Sister Pat, aristocrat, I go and make fear waistline run at. Sister Pat, aristocrat, I go and make your waistline run at.
Ah, boy, I tell you. Singers and DJs. That was, the last one was George Nooks and Welton Irie. Before that was
Roddy Thomas.
Roddy Thomas and Trinity. Yeah, so that was the combination that the Mighty Two put out, Joe Gibbs and Errol Thompson.
You know, Errol Thompson and that combination, Mighty Two combination, is reportedly responsible for producing some more than 145s. So it tells you how prolific they were. I think there was a series that, and I'm pretty sure this was largely influenced by Errol Thompson. They were called the African African dub series.
African beat.
Afri-
African dub.
Yes,
Yeah.
we call it
There are about
African dub.
4 albums.
Right.
Yeah.
And the first 2 issues of the African dub series are, as a record collector, that is,
It's a must.
Is a must-have.
It's a must-have.
Absolute must-have.
Because it gives you a lot of the rhythms that they use.
African dub series.
African dub, dub tree, lime key rock, heavy rock, Angola Crisis, Rima dub. Trust me.
Interestingly, and I'm glad you pulled out that the Rima dub Angola Crisis. Again, this was a time when the musicians were identifying with the struggle, both domestically and internationally.
Yes.
Because you had the problem with South Africa and Rhodesia with the apartheid system on that side of the world. And here, there in Jamaica, where
there's even a dub called the Entebbe Affair.
Absolutely, and if anybody remember that with Entebbe, it was the Israeli the Israelis basically attacked the Entebbe airport in Uganda, where they claimed the Ugandans had hijacked an Israeli aircraft, and they basically went to take. So it was a crucial time. Roddy Thomas, though, you played that song with Roddy Thomas, somebody who I knew personally. Roddy had revisited the song he did over. What was
Loving Papa?
Loving Papa was a Dobby Dobson original.
Right.
And he basically made it his own song and then brought in Rankin Trevor on the back end of the song, with typical Joe Gibbs production again, where Rankin Trevor basically aced his DJ role. Unfortunately, Roddy Thomas in 2006, after a fairly reasonable career as a crooner, was performing at a festival in Portland, and he suffered a heart attack and died on the show venue. Sad end for somebody who would have been in his early 50s, if I remember correctly. But that's how life works.
Joe Gibbs, I think it was 2008. 2008.
Joe Gibbs himself would have suffered a heart attack. But before we get to that point, we're touching on the music that he was producing. All the artists are now pointing. In fact, I had a personal experience with Joe Gibbs, which as we're talking about him there, while he was doing the 3-piece suit and thing, I was now working at the library, at Tom Redcom Library, and I worked as the artist. In those days, we never had the kind of technology that we now have where you can do color separation. So what we did was color separation on transparencies, or plastic transparencies. So you outlined and then you put the color coding on each transparency. And he asked me to do the album cover for 3-piece suit and thing. And let me tell you something. I had to make about 3 or 4 visits to the Retirement Road location with my color separation, thinking that, well, if this drop is supposed to make a nice change. Well, the man take the transparencies, produce the record. I don't see, to this day, I don't see $1. Not even the dust off of 1 cent again. Because every time we go there,
so that reinforcing our mind that him is not a paying
man. And I know that man, from my experience, the man that don't pay money. And it's rough when you say the same drawings that I had done, which became the album jacket. Man, it seemed to have handed it over to another artist who did some minor changes, but the diamond socks and thing with the guy, you remember how the album was? You see the guy with him short up jacket and have the girl against the fence and all that.
Film, that man, Trinity.
That was it, yeah.
And 3-piece suit.
That thing. But that's the era we're running into now, because that was where Joe Gibbs really separated himself from the pack with these records.
piano and ting. We have them going and ting. Now pop no style, I strictly roots. Now pop no style, I strictly roots. See me on the road and you not call out to me. Do you see me in my pants and ting? See me in my altar back. Say me give you heart attack. Give me little bit. I'm still in love with you, boy. I'm still in love with you, boy. I'm still in love with you, boy. I'm still in love. Yes, I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love with you, boy.
So I say, and I will never let you go away.
I'm still in love with you,
Man, you should have seen me and the big fat thing. Tell you where me scrubber in a constant spring. Tell you where me dubber in a constant spring. Tell you where me lover in a constant spring. Tell you where me dubber on the big bed spring. In a me 3-piece suit and thing. Tell you with me diamond socks and thing. Tell you with me earthman shoes and thing. Come me say rub off the makeup.
You don't know how to love me.
I wish I say.
Not even how to kiss.
Y'all know I know what's your nationality. Yeah. Because you broke down me door and you asked me for more. Sit down on me chair and I ask for a beer. Leave down on me bed and I draw me near.
Just roll right in. Let me tell you, baby, that I love you so. Baby, although you're a rebel and you come from the ghetto, I love you, baby. Just roll right in.
Yes, there you have it. Some of the bad songs from in the mid to late 70s and a couple early 80s.
Absolutely. In fact, that collage there, you say, that photo collage we just presented on this screen, really just to give you a visual interpretation of some of the artists, just a few of the artists that passed through Joe Gibbs' hands. Now, Joe Gibbs demonstrated his, knowledge and understanding, his prowess as a producer for the business. One of the foremost producers in this late season of reggae as it traversed into dancehall. You played a lot that
Uptown Top Ranking, which is
series.
Angola. Original rhythm was called the Angola Crisis.
Absolutely, but something to keep in mind, especially for those the students of the music, is that the Alton Ellis and Joe Gibbs had some problems with that rhythm to a large extent. Well, certainly, I'm Still in Love with You version of the song, which what happened is that when Alton Ellis sampled the song, when Joe Gibbs sampled the song, he didn't give Alton Ellis the credit, and it created a lot of problems. And anybody who knew Alton Ellis is not a man to scoff at his earnings when it comes to the use of his music. Now, one would think that having had that experience with Alton Ellis, that Joe Gibbs would have learned from it. But he certainly got himself into trouble afterwards when he did a song with J.C. Lodge. What was it?
Someone Loves You,
Someone Loves You, Honey.
Charlie Pride original.
Yeah, but the song was they actually credited Charlie Pride for the song, although it wasn't he who wrote the actual song. The song was actually written by Don DeVerney. Yet by the time the song was a huge success, and Arista Records wanted to license the reggae version, and by the time it got to Arista in the United States, the writing credit for the song was now saying Joe Gibbs, and of course the Charlie Pride people, said to them, "Hey guys, you need to correct this." Joe Gibbs basically took an intransigent position, didn't want a thing, and it ultimately resulted in an almost bankruptcy of Joe Gibbs, because the Charlie Pride connections came down on him hard, and it costed him a tremendous amount of money. Virtually put him out of business, because eventually the location for the recording studio, they had to turn it into a supermarket to try a thing. Of course, Gibbs is a resilient man, and some years later he resurfaced and did another couple of recordings. We're gonna go out with the Someone Loves You, Honey thing, and just a little reminder that Joe Gibbs himself died of a heart attack in 2008.
Well, folks, there you have it. Walk good, Jagad and bless. It's another Sunday, and join us again next week for another version of Sunday Scoops.